Hey, it's Rav. Welcome to the Everyday Investor TV show. This show is designed to help us grow our money. You see, the challenge often is that we take our precious time, we go to work, and if we do go to work, we are blessed. We receive a paycheck in order to eat. Let me say that again. We take our time, we go to work, we make money so that we can provide for our family. But imagine a life where money could make you money. You could work a little less if you wanted to, and then you could spend that time with family, friends, engage in a purpose greater than yourself. Every single week, I have an expert guest teaching their vehicle of investment so that you could be nurtured, so that perhaps if you wanted to do the same thing, you could. We are so grateful for you to be able to watch the show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Coming up, we're talking to my good friend Lena, and she's teaching us how we can make money going from student housing to seniors housing.
And what's really interesting about this particular model is, number one, you're not dependent in location, right? You can be anywhere. Seniors are everywhere and they're in need everywhere. So I don't have to be near a university. I can look at more affordable properties to actually do this with, but they also pay more for the stability.
Did you know that if you're selling your home or investment property, one of our preferred agent partners will sell it for you for free? That's right, zero commission. Head over to our website, everydayinvestor.com, and find out more.
Terry Lynn Legault from Canada's Mortgage Choice here. Did you know that you have the option for payments on your mortgage? Usually your options are weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly. And when you're making that decision, what are the circumstances that you're basing that decision on? If you and your mortgage broker are not discussing that, it's something that needs to be taken into consideration because your next steps and your entire structure depend on it. If you're not having that conversation with your broker, reach out to Canada's Mortgage Choice today.
Hey, it's Rav. A few years ago, I learned how to trade stock options by taking the Theta trading course. My son, my friends, myself, all of us benefited immensely by applying their strategies, and I want you to have that same benefit by taking their course as well. I'm not receiving any monetary benefit whatsoever by telling you this. It's just that, as you know, I believe that knowledge mitigates risk. Visit their site to find out more. Hey, it's Rav. Welcome back to Everyday Investor. Super excited about this show. Talking to my good friend Lena. Lena, thank you so much for taking time out and being on the show with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
You know, we've been doing this show for, I don't know, I think I'm going into my 2005 January. So soon I'll be going into my 20th season. And you've been on a few times, and I think something popped up, memories in Facebook or whatever. There was an image of you and I on set, and I said, you know what, it's been too long, we need to have Lena on. So what's been going on right now? You have a little munchkin running around, and I'm not talking about your husband, but you have two munchkins running around, your husband and your little one. And I asked you if you're still living in the nation's capital. You said, Rav, we haven't talked for that long, or maybe I forgot, but you're here in the GTA. And then you also had an investment group of, I think predominantly, if not all women. I don't know. I mean, men can wear stilettos. It's okay. But stilettos and hammers, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
stilettos and hammers, and you're property management. And then you were telling me about something that you did with your student rentals. You were turning them into, seniors housing. So much going on, but kind of just fill me in the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years if you can.
Oh, geez. So in a nutshell, you got it. I had a baby. We moved back to the GTA. I still run stilettos and hammers. COVID hit, obviously. We all kind of had to shift and pivot. And we were very heavy in the Hamilton market with student rentals. And during COVID, there was an exodus, right? The students were learning online, the universities weren't open, and we were able to kind of shift and start offering room rentals, but geared towards seniors. So we did that, and that's been great. We're going to talk about that. But we actually, also opened up a co-working space and did all kinds of other things that COVID required us to kind of look into, and opportunities that presented themselves. So it's been a busy few years. We haven't really had a chance to take a break, but I am very grateful for that, and we're loving it.
But you also have like a property management company.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that and how long you've had it and how many doors are we managing, and yeah.
I'm about to age myself. So we've got NV Property Management. We actually established the company in 2004. So we're going into 20 years. And it was primarily supposed to have been just to manage our portfolio for my husband and I. And in 2007, it turned into a full-scale, full-service property management firm. We cover the Ottawa Valley, like the entire nation's capital region, Eastern Ontario, as well as Oshawa, all the way to Niagara Falls, out to Brantford, up to Barrie, Newmarket, kind of in that GTA zone. We're, I think, up to, we unloaded about 30 new properties. So we're, I think, at about 90 something properties now that we deal with. So it's a lot of tenants. It keeps me very busy. And we're actually Scott McGilvery's trusted property management company in Hamilton as well. So his McGilvery Trusted Team, we are his property managers in the Hamilton region.
That's great. That's great. I've used to have properties, and now I don't have any properties, and more kind of on the land development side of things. But I'm born and raised in Kingston. And of course, Queen's University is there, and my in-laws are there. My wife's, a lot of her family. And, they would talk to me about, they have investment properties, but they would often talk to me about property management. And I'm not really familiar with property management. So touch on it a little bit. So somebody has even one property, let alone 3, 5, 10, they may not want to have anything to do with it. It's a business. They don't want to, go in there and manage. How does property management work? Is it fee-based? Is it a percentage-based? Just talk a little bit about how, if somebody was interested, they could contact you to be able to manage their property because they're finding it's a little bit more work than they signed up for.
Sure. So a good property manager, and I say that because there are a lot of options out there and not everybody is kind of built the same. Like any other member of your team, we all have certain skill sets. So a good property manager, number one, is going to be somebody who understands the mechanics of investment property. So they understand that the goal isn't to fix a toilet when it breaks, but to manage and maintain the value and the growth of an asset. And that's done with preventative management, not reactive management. So you would hire somebody, it could be fee-based or flat rate-based. So it could be a percentage or a flat rate. That's something you can discuss with your management company. We do both. Because viability is a little challenging these days for investors. And they will handle everything. Like you go off, you want to go to Bali for the next 5 years, go for it. With a good manager, you shouldn't have to think about it. With us, we have a threshold for maximum spend per month when it comes to maintenance. Anything outside of that agreed upon amount would always have to have approval first. So you'll get quotes, you'll get to approve. Everything comes with photos before, during, after. And our job really is to ensure that we're finding ways to increase the value, whether it's by increasing income through different means. Maybe we can add storage, maybe we can add parking that we can charge for, maybe we can add laundry we can charge for, additional services that will generate revenue. We want to look at how can we reduce expenses? Are we running really high, let's say, with a certain type of utilities? Maybe your heating system has reached its max life and it's time to kind of convert over to reduce the actual use and consumption of utilities. So we look at it from that aspect as well. And how can we maintain the actual value of the property itself? So proper proactive maintenance. Let's take a look and see what could be coming up so we can handle it head on before it becomes a problem. Does your toilet wobble? Do we need a new wax ring? Maybe get on that now before it starts to leak. Those kinds of things.
So would I expect somebody would go in once a year, twice a year, three? Like how would we know? How are we preventative? Does somebody that you, like, let's say I have a property in Ottawa, your team's, you are situated in the GTA, but you would have resources in Ottawa that would talk to you on my behalf.
Absolutely. So each region has a leasing agent, like a leasing manager, as well as a service manager. And then the service manager has their service team that sits beneath them. And it's the service manager who communicates with me in the office. Preventative management. So for us, we recommend always quarterly inspections, and we do them in line with furnace filter changes and smoke detector testing, just to make sure that everything is okay. It gives us an opportunity to go through the entire property. We go into all of the important areas just to make sure everything's on the up and up. Because, certain things that certain tenants may want to do, generally speaking, if you're in their unit once a quarter, they're not able to kind of cultivate to full potential. We'll leave it at that. So that is the recommendation we give. Minimum, absolute bare bones minimum, if you are kind of tight when it comes to cash flow, would be once a year, no less than that. But I really wouldn't go less than like semi-annual.
And back in my day, which was a while ago, it was percentage. I would do percentage based, and it was anywhere between 8 and 12% of monthly rent. Is that still ballpark? Is it a little bit higher now? What is it now?
We charge between, actually, depending on the size of your portfolio, we could be as low as 5%. We can be as high as 10. We don't actually go more than 10. And 10 is if we're taking on a real problem. So something that's totally unstable that needs stabilization. And it's what we're good at, right? Stabilization is what we're good at because it's what we buy. We buy distressed, non-functional, and turn them into well-oiled machines. For us, if we pick up something that needs stabilization, we'll actually reduce your rate down to roughly 7 to 8%, again, depending on the size of the property, once it's been stabilized, because the work involved has not reduced.
Yeah. So if something's $2,000, we might be paying $150, $160 a month to be able to sleep at night. Now, that's maintenance. What about exit? A tenant leaves, and now I got to put a tenant in. Do you help me with that as well?
Absolutely. So we do full A to Z. We charge a standard fee, 1 month's rent, plus HST. Everything is plus HST. Don't blame me. Those are the rules. But we will take care of all of it. So we will do our pre-exit for the tenant inspections. We'll make a list of what needs to happen in order to get the unit rent ready. So rent ready could be done in phases. It could be getting it ready for photos, getting it ready for showings, and then getting it ready for occupancy. And again, the goal is cash flow management because it's not always cheap. We will look at, cost versus return. So let's say your unit is slightly dated. Does the market really yield a good return if I were to go in and replace your kitchen versus maybe reface your cabinets? So we'll look at that. We'll have that discussion as well. So where can we get maximum rent with minimal output, minimal cash out of your pocket to, again, increase your return. Once the unit's up, we do virtual staged photos because we prefer to obviously not use any of our tenants' belongings. We do all of the screenings, and then we get your tenant in. Once your tenant's
That's fantastic.
Then the management fees start.
Yeah. No. Fantastic. I know you and your husband and very smart people, not just pretty faces. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, want to hear a little bit about your investment group, Stiletto and Hammers, and then I want to look at a few numbers in your transition from student housing to taking care of the most important people in our lives, our seniors, and that's very cool. We're talking to our good friend Lena here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Did you know that if you're selling your home or investment property, one of our preferred agent partners will sell it for you for free? That's right, zero commission. Head over to our website, everydayinvestor.com, and find out more.
Hi, it's Darren Mitchell from Control and Compound. If you're a real estate investor or business owner, you know the cookie cutter approach to financial planning doesn't work for you. You've got to be in control of your money. You've got to save and store your money differently than other people. At Control and Compound, we are the wealth coaches for real estate investors and business owners. We show you how to save your money, grow your money tax-free, multiply your money tax-free, and spend it tax-free. To learn more, please check us out at controlandcompound.com/everydayinvestor, where viewers of this show get a complimentary education session.
The mortgage world has changed. Has your advice? Are you looking for a modern approach to your mortgage planning process? Advice tailored to your unique, ever-changing circumstances? Whether you're upsizing, downsizing, purchasing, or refinancing, the Kyle Ford Mortgage team works with individuals and companies to custom tailor the right mortgage product for you. Working with a wide selection of lenders, we're here to serve our clients and help them achieve their real estate and retirement goals. Contact the Kyle Ford Mortgage team today, Canada's mortgage choice.
Hey, it's Rav. Welcome back to Everyday Investor. I'm talking to my sister, Lena. We're talking about property management. We're going to talk about a ladies' investment group because they're a lot smarter than the men. And yeah, truly they are, in my opinion. And then we're going to talk about pivoting from student housing to senior housing. And we have about 10 minutes to be able to do that. So those of you that have been watching, if you're just picking this up, please go to everydayinvestor.com, watch the episode, because we just spent the first segment here talking about property management, and Lena and her husband's outfit does this kind of all across, I don't want to say Ontario, but I'll say Ontario. Their information's on the screen there, and you can give them a call, even if it's just one property or you have a portfolio of 5, 10, 15 properties. It's great to have somebody else manage it if you so desire, so that you don't have to think about it and take away that kind of stress. So you've had stiletto and hammer for a long time now. I don't say a long time, but as far as I remember, how many years has it been?
2012 is when we started. So this is our 11th year.
Yeah, 11th year. So tell me a little bit about it. How does it work? Do you ever see the guys, peeking through the windows? Is this exclusively women? Tell me how it's working.
So Stilettos and Hammers is a women's real estate investment network. That's how we started and what it was there for. I found that it was a little challenging sometimes for myself as well as other women to kind of be heard in a room full of the men in the industry. We're generally not as outspoken as our male counterparts. Sometimes we're not as confident. And I wanted to create an environment where, we could all feel safe within our own little shells and talk real estate. It's been great. We have kind of evolved. We do a lot more now in terms of mindset and well-being, because if you're not good on the inside, it doesn't matter how much we teach you in terms of the mechanicals of the numbers and things like that. You're never really going to be ready to take action. We do have men who occasionally join us. We don't mind. Especially if we're having really big discussions. So if we are bringing members of our legal team out who are discussing the pros and cons of incorporating versus purchasing personally, we encourage the men to join their spouses, or we open it up to everybody, because this is information that really will create a lot of benefit for a lot of people. We don't want to really keep it exclusive, but we have a lot of fun women's only networking style events, especially post-COVID. We do high tea. We're looking into beach picnics and all white parties. So it's really an environment where we want to create a community that is all about connection and collaboration. So let's connect with one another. Let's find ways to collaborate with one another and just create a functional community that will, help one another evolve.
I mean, listen, I think it's great. So many of my girlfriends, girlfriend investors, just so fruitful. You're one of them. Whether it's a Mandy Branham, whether it's a Sarah Larby, whether it's a Danielle Chason, I can just go on and on about the women. And I don't know what it is. I think sometimes we think, oh, women are emotional and so on and so. No, I actually find men are more emotional, something to prove, don't know all the facts, jump in, we try to make it happen. Where a woman is just very calculated and it's about numbers, and it's what I find anyways. You know, I've been with my wife for 36 years, 37 years. I met her when I was 15. We started dating when I was 15. And, you know, back then I was, you know, just wanted to be a life hacker, and, you know, I'd throw my own raves or my own parties, or I'd do this, or I was in MLM, you know, network marketing, and, you know, I make money. I would always make money, but I didn't really care what she thought, and I was going to do it anyways, by way of confession. But I've been burnt many times around, down the road because I didn't heed. I would heed her advice, but it was just because it was a smart thing to do. I still did what I wanted to do. Now I tell you, Lena, I don't do anything unless I get her blessings. There's just, I don't know, there's just an intuition. I really mean it when I say I find that women are smarter than men when it comes to making wise decisions, because I think there's less ego involved. I don't know what the reason is, but anyways. So how does it work? Are you meeting live now? Is it virtual? Is it a monthly fee? Is it per event?
So right now we're meeting only live. I'm all virtualed out. I'm not going to lie. COVID really did a number. But right now we meet monthly live in the GTA. So it's either at our office in Richmond Hill, or it will be somewhere in, you know, Etobicoke, downtown Toronto, or Midtown. It's per event right now. So every month the new events will get posted. You log on. Our group is small. I mean, I shouldn't say our group. Our group is not small. We have roughly 750 women who are engaged with us, but our events are limited to 30 women. And it's really to be able to create an environment for that connection. Again, unless it is a bigger information session. We're going to start doing virtual in the fall. So come September, we will offer more educational based events online, but the networking will all be done in person so that we can, you know, get out of our little holes. Cause I know I've been in yoga pants for a really long time, and it's nice to, you know, put on a dress and some high heels and get out.
So is it like a Rain or a Keyspire or a Wealth Genius, or like is it a monthly subscription, or do I just pay for every time I come, or how does it work?
Right now, just pay as you go. We're not at all on the levels of things like Rain or Keyspire. We're not mentors right now. What we are looking to do is really just bring professionals that are in the industry whom we have relationships and we trust to come out, provide information to women who are curious and are looking, and to create that connection. Right now, we're kind of like that matchmaker, more so than the person delivering actual mentorship or things like that. We used to run programs. They were quite successful. We'll do them again in the fall. But between 2018 and, you know, the end of COVID, my life didn't allow for it. You know, we had a lot of different challenges that finally are behind us. So we can go back to focusing on that. When that happens, there is an option for a monthly membership fee that will bring you into an inner circle or whatever you want to call it. And it does provide a bit more in terms of actual real hands-on training and support.
Okay, great. So let's talk about, we only have a few minutes. I wanted the show to be about, because I found it fascinating transitioning from student housing to seniors housing. So we only have a few minutes to talk about that. So we'll have to bring you on to do that topic again, but congratulations on your property management group for bringing women together to network. So tell me how this works. Is it a bunch of golden girls that just love to be together and you know, that's what I envision, you know, like that TV show where they're just having a blast. I mean, how does it, so let's say you have a 4-unit, 5-unit student housing house. What did you do?
So all that we did is I actually started reaching out to a few of the community programs. So we started this in Hamilton, and you have, you know, St. Joseph's and a few other kind of programs out there that, you know, they're community homelessness prevention programs and whatnot. And when I had reached out to them, they were talking a lot about an increase in seniors who are reaching out for support to their programs because they've been in their homes a really long time. Let's say they've lost a partner, they've lost a spouse, their income is very, very limited. And they have a very hard time, especially in a market like Hamilton's that was booming, finding affordable housing. So I looked at it and thought, okay, well, I rent my room to students who drive me insane. How bad could it be to rent to, senior citizens who could drive me equally insane or might not? Well, they don't. Yay. But it turned into, okay, at that time I had a 5-bedroom property and I said, I have 5 rooms available in a home that is already partially furnished. So if you have people who need it, they need to bring in their bedroom furniture and it's there. And it ended up being a group of women. They didn't know one another and they all came in. And what's really interesting about this particular model is, number one, you're not dependent in location, right? You can be anywhere. Seniors are everywhere and they're in need everywhere. So I don't have to be near a university. I can look at more affordable properties to actually do this with, but they also pay more for the stability. So at the time, so this would have been 2020, right after the lockdowns, rooms that we were renting at the time were going between $650 to $700 a month, all inclusive. Some of them, if they were bigger, $750 to $850,
and that was
unfurnished.
And that was for the student?
For the students.
Okay.
Right? So we provide internet, all the utilities are included. They have laundry on site. They don't really think about much. They just pay their rent and we hope that they at least keep the place semi-clean and get along. With the seniors, when they came in, they were paying. So the way that we had done it is we started charging $850 per room, but we also charged an additional $50 for utilities, flat fee. And then we charged an additional $20 for internet. So now we've increased our income. And they have a fixed set amount that still sits less than $1,000 a month, which for these individuals was still viable because it was in line with what they had available to them for housing. And they have a beautiful home. And now there's 3 people who are living together. And our hope was that now, instead of being alone in an apartment, a bachelor unit or something, now they actually have people to sit with, people to talk with. There's a little bit of a community as well. And for older people, especially, I think it's very important because they do become very isolated. Or if there is an issue with health, or there is something where maybe there is a concern or something is deteriorating, when they're alone, it won't be caught as quickly.
Yeah. And so you said...
Is it always great? No.
So you said you have 3, but so you have 2 rooms vacant?
So it started with 3 women. We added 2 more.
Okay.
So we don't have vacancies right now. So it started in a 5-bedroom home. It went from the 5-bedroom into a 3-2, like a bungalow with a basement, and it's gone. So we don't have any vacancies. Our rooms have gone through. Turnover wise, only in our very first property did we end up having to turn over 2 of our rooms because the women didn't get along. But otherwise, since 2020, nobody's turned over.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So,
and this is independent living, right? It's not like you
Yes.
send a nurse by once a week or anything like that.
No.
It's independent living, but it's kind of like cooperative living, if you will. And you're right. I mean, my mom, she's about 10% dementia now, and the more stimulation, the more interaction, the better it is for her.
100%.
As opposed to just kind of being on your own. Lena, listen, time flies when you're having fun, when we're being nurtured.
It does.
I think that's phenomenal that you came up with that. And, are you open to, people calling you to get some advice and,
100%.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
For being on the show, and we'll have to have you back again sometime real soon.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure, Rev.
And thank you guys for watching. Without you, we would not have a show. Make sure you go to everydayvestor.com, sign up so you can get this show delivered right into your inbox. You can also watch it again. It's kind of like on demand. Until then, we'll see you next week. Same place, same time. Honey, I love you. I'll be home soon. Bye, everyone.